Hi, everybody. Welcome, welcome, welcome. This is Marcus Shaman Marcus from Healing with Marcus. So, we are here to discuss your leadership, your spiritual leadership of yourself, how that looks and what it's like. When we are spiritual seekers, it almost says it in itself, in the name, that when we're seeking, we are looking around out there for things to guide us, to help us, to support us. Kind of how most of our society is raising us to be, right? When we go to school, we're learning that the wisdom is in the books, the teachings we need. If it's math, we get a book with the math solutions in it, and we learn how to get to those solutions. And one way of looking at that, right? Every part of our lives we're taught that we don't know, and that the knowledge is out there somewhere. That somebody with a fancy few letters after their name, PhD or whatever it might be, MBA, whatever these titles are, MFA, we think that they are so much wiser than we are, so we have to learn from them. Now, of course, gathering information is of course really healthy and can be very beautiful, and we learn good things, right? But a lot like if you're learning a new language, you're not going to go to this new language and be, please tell me how to live, or please, you're so much wiser than me. If I learn French or Spanish or any other language, it's so much wiser than my language, so now I'm going to be more enlightened. That's not really how it works, right? We're just gathering new information on how to speak this language so that we can communicate with more people. It's a little bit like that when we're gathering information from books too. And the same thing happens in the spiritual walk, where you gather information, we learn from different books. We have beautiful books. I have, since I was a child, I had Jonathan Livingston Seagull, mid-teens or something. One of my absolute all-time favorite books. Super easy read, 20 minutes, 30 minutes. It's an amazing little book. It gives so much love, so much energy. And then my book, of course, The Four Elements, also another good book. The Four Elements, We Are Earth Mother. Find it on Amazon. Or The Four Agreements by Don Miguel Ruiz. Or An Autobiography of a Yogi by Paramahansa Yogananda. Any one of these beautiful books. The Prophet by Khalil Gibran. Amazing book. So many deep, strong messages. They will show you the way. They will give you more and more information so you can find your inner higher connection to yourself, to what your heart wants, to what spirit wants to express through you. Right? So if we are life being lived, if life on this planet is manifesting itself as trees, as grass, as seagulls, as mountains, as the ocean, and as humans, and as moose, and as bison, and as wolves. If life is manifesting through all these different versions of life, your inner connection to life is your leadership. So it's through yourself. It's through your deeper inner self. And yes, of course, when we are living solely on the basis of fear-driven ego, it usually doesn't turn out that well. We can look around in the world and we see wars, and we see negativity, and we see fighting, and we see greed, and we see fear-mongering, manipulation, propaganda. We see it everywhere. That is, of course, manifestations of ego, lower nature, fear-based. If we don't control them, they're not going to do what we want, and we're not going to make money. We're not going to be in control. We're not going to be safe. So coming into your own inner leadership role as your mind begins to quiet down. The ego-driven, addictive mind of like, I gotta check my phone, I gotta do this, I gotta do that. That part of your brain, which is really an ego, it's ego, right? Building thick walls to protect ourselves from true feeling, true sense. As we move our awareness into our body, we become more aware of what's in there. We're like, with our sacred breath, right? We take our sacred breath. It all began with a breath and it all ends with a breath. Yes, every single life you and I have begins with a breath, ends with a breath. So we have a breath, we breathe it into our body, we begin to feel into our system. This can help us quiet down the incessant thought machine that most of us have. So as we come into this moment of stillness inside, and we begin to feel like, oh, I'm okay right now. I'm fairly strong right now. Then we can start to grow our roots, right? Grow roots into Earth Mother. And we begin to feel even more grounded. And suddenly, a new level of wisdom is going to enter your consciousness. Suddenly, you're going to be like, oh, I don't know how I knew that, but I knew that. I don't know how I felt that, but I felt that. I don't know how I learned these things, but somehow it's in me. This is when you're allowing spirit to speak through you. This is when you're allowing life to operate through you. On some levels, we can call it you're accessing the quantum field because all the knowledge is already out there. And as you are a manifestation of life on this planet, from the quantum field, it began as an idea, as an energy, not idea even, it's an energy motion, movement in the quantum field. It manifests on this planet as life, right? So as that's going on, that wisdom from that is already accessible for you as well. Some people call it the Akashic records. Call it whatever you want, but you are accessing your higher self, your connection to life itself. And as you do, you become your own leader, your own inner guide. And yes, there's nothing wrong with having a person around that we can ask questions. What do you think about this? How do you feel? I ran into this problem in my meditation or this conundrum in life. What would you do if you were in my shoes? Nothing wrong with that, right? But it's easy to become over-dependent. It's easy to become a little more like trying to get somebody to take care of us. And as we come back home into our body, into our lives, into our heart, into our sacral chakra, we begin to feel life spire up through us, growing up through us. And as it does, your wisdom grows with it, right? This is your innate gifts. These are your innate gifts from life itself. This is what you are here for. So as you learn to step into your leadership role, some of the people say, be your own damn guru. That's Shaman Durek, right? The beauty of it is we can always keep asking people for advice, for thoughts, for what do you think about this? What happened if you were in this situation? What would you do? Or things of that nature. But the final judgment, the final call is always going to be within you. This is where, and the more you step into your leadership role, the more your guides and your power animals and everything that's working to help you, the more they're going to help you. The universe favors when we come into motion, energetically speaking. And it doesn't really have to be that we're running around. It's more that we're showing an intention. We're living with intentionality. The universe will favor it. And your guides will come in and support you on this mission. Your power animals will support you in this mission. And suddenly our abilities grow. Suddenly we know things we didn't know we knew. It's a beautiful process and experience. This is how we learn to trust our inner judgment. They call it discernment. When you use your intuitive knowing, your intuition, and your heart, and your mind. But the mind isn't the main decider. Right? When we let mind make the final decision, it's almost always based in fear. When you listen to your heart, your mind, your soul, and you feel like, oh, hang on, there's there's a wisdom coming through here. There's more coming through here than just mind saying, well, just do this. No, what does it feel like I should do? And what does my heart want to do? Let's see, what if I can do this? And suddenly the actions you're taking are shifting. And you get more energy in your life. If you've been feeling downtrodden and depressed, this is a way to get through that, right? Gain your power back. Reclaim your inner power, your sovereignty. All right, beloveds. All right. It starts with a breath, ends with a breath. Keep taking these breaths. Breathe into your body. Become your own leader. I'm grateful you're here. Click like and subscribe if this spoke to you. And I am giving out at least one video a week and one live a week. Every Monday night at 7 p.m. we go live, Pacific Standard Time. So feel free to join us then. And otherwise, look up my website, healingwithmarcus.com. See if there's anything you would want. You can always sign up for a session with me. It's good stuff going on. Lots of healings taking place. Okay, everybody. So much love. Namaste. And aho.